Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed. Uh, Listen, you try to come up with something original week in, week out to keep you all. Sorry, what? Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. Okay, let me eat something really quick. Okay, I apologize. Let's try this again. Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed. How will the Baron react to a prediction Max is going to suggest to him tonight? What has Dizzy all fired up tonight? Trust me, he may not sound like it, but he is. Why is Max calling out everybody? All this and more next on Ramblers Unleashed.
The following program may contain language. Viewer discretion is advised.
The wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
We have a mega big show for you tonight. Welcome to your Tuesday Night Delight. It is Ramblers Unleashed live on youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed, as well as twitch.tv and our X account at the Ramblers Pod. What's up? I'm Dizzy, and let's go ahead and introduce the gentleman. Let's start with the neighborhood heel, who looks confused. A man with more wrestling knowledge in his pinky finger than Tony Khan could ever muster up with his toy figures, and the only guy that I know that pops bigger for Jill Gertner than any of us. And damn it, Max, you are our wise man. You can address him as Mr. Magius, but we call him the mighty Maximus Magius. Golfers clap. How are you, sir?
This is Ramblers Unleashed?
This is
Damn
Ramblers
it.
Unleashed.
I thought I was doing another episode of Baron's OnlyFans.
Well, I thought we were going to do an episode on Big Brother earlier.
Well, both things we can dive in here. There's a long list of Big Brother talk we can have.
I mean, you guys were on it. I have no idea what you guys were talking about before we went live. I have no clue.
All right. Listen, since we're here for wrestling talk, happy birthday, Mir.
Happy birthday, Mir.
Now, since we're here for wrestling talk, I would like to present my prediction now as part of the introductions. You know, the one I mentioned in the intro to the show. Baron, I have a prediction, and I'm not sure how you're going to feel about it. So I think somewhere in the next couple of months, we're going to see a new women's champion on Raw. And I don't mean, and we're definitely going to have a new one after Clash in Paris. That's not the point. I think Roxanne Perez will be winning the title in the next couple of months. That way, when Liv comes back, Liv says, you stole my faction, you stole my tag team partner, you stole my tag titles, you lost them, you stole my boyfriend, and now you stole my other title, and we're going to see the Liv-Roxanne feud kick off finally.
I'm all for that. I've said this on the show a couple times. I think that's a great idea, and I think that's what they are kind of like long-term doing. But also, I don't think Liv is slated to come back for quite some time, right?
I mean, they said several months, so I figure a few months down the road, you put the belt on Roxanne, get her some momentum built up, and then Liv makes her return.
I'm for it. They kind of ran Roxanne down a little bit, right? Like, I feel like she hasn't won anything.
The only thing we hadn't factored into the prediction of what was going to happen with the story was the title. I have now added the title of that because I think that elevates their feud. It'll elevate Roxanne because that'll be a good feud for her to feud for the title with. And there's a lot of times we'll come on the show and I'll say that feud doesn't need a belt. Like when Goldberg came back, he didn't need to face KO for the belt. You know, but this one, I think it would elevate the story. I think it would make it better to have that title involved.
Give it to me.
What do you think, Dizzy?
I think that sounds like perfect plan, honestly. I think Liv coming back would definitely shake shit up, because I feel like I don't feel like it's stale, I don't feel like the Judgment Day. Well, I mean, I do feel like the Judgment Day is stale in what they're doing, but I don't think I don't know. I don't think the Liv and Dom thing. What I would like, what I'm curious is what they're going to do with Liv is when she comes back. Are they going to kick her out of Judgment Day? Are they going to say, hey, you know, you've been gone for so long. We're with Roxanne now. Roxanne's with us. We don't need you. And Dom turns his back on her.
I don't think they necessarily kick her out. I think she decides that, oh, y'all don't need me no more. And I just looked it up. I know we're still a few months out, but they are speculatively saying possibly the Royal Rumble.
Oh God, that's so long away. that's so far away.
That is quite a bit of ways away. I mean, right now anything can happen. When is she slated to come back?
Royal Rumble.
Oh, at Royal Rumble. Okay.
Right now they're talking about Royal Rumble for her return.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just like you are dead weight to our show, Styles.
What's up, Styles? Good to see you, buddy. Next up, by the way, Max, we have your from the desk of Max Magius. First thing after we talk about Forbidden Door and NXT Heatwave, we're gonna go from the desk of Max Magius because it is a big story.
And I got stuff to say about it. Believe me.
Well, yeah, I think we all do. Lastly, the man that is higher than a kite flown by Tony Khan, our resident happy guy whose catchphrase is and will always be, Baron, please.
420.
Ladies and gentlemen, golfers, clap for the one, the only Baron. And your buzzkill moment coming up later on in the program. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, you know, just waving to my 4 fans. I gave me the golfing clap over there. I was looking for thunderous applause, like Roman Reigns when I come into the show here.
Hold on, you want a thunderous applause now? My gosh, you're so demanding. Is that better?
Yeah, that was great. That was perfect.
Right.
I need a Roman Reigns pop when I get in here. You know, not a couple of claps over here.
Well, I mean, Max and I get a couple of claps, so why
the Baron?
Well,
and we also get a cup of haters.
Cup of Hades. We got your buzzkill moment coming up here in just a few moments. But before we get to anything else, Max.
And well, hold on. I just wanted to say it's hard to kill Baron's buzz. You guys don't know this, but that cup that he drinks out of, full of NyQuil.
Yeah.
That's just because that way when we get to talking and he can go, oh God, these people, and drink some NyQuil and keep that buzz going.
Yeah, I got to do something.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're never done with the intros around here because there's other people that need to be called out. And when I say called out, I'm not talking about like I call out Styles for his obsession with Tyson's ass, not mine. I'm not talking about like when I call out Punk for not wanting a piece of this, because Punk, you don't want the smoke. All right. When I say called out, I mean, listen, look at the three of us. Just take a good look at us. Okay. Do we look like we should be on cam talking to each other? God, no. But you people make it worth it. You are the unofficial member of the Ramblers Unleashed crew. And I want you to give it up for yourselves. In fact, I want Styles to get up and make you all take a bow for him.
Can I give him a golfer's clap real quick?
Give him a golfer's clap.
There we go. Golfer's clap for you. We thank you for being here.
All right. And now, a man who needs no introduction, but deserves one anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is my best friend. This man is the guy that puts the stories together. Without him, we wouldn't have an identity. We'd just be 3 idiots on camera talking about wrestling every week. But because of this man, we are the Ramblers, and you are unofficial members of the Ramblers Unleashed crew. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give it up for my best friend, for Dizzy. Give it up.
Thank you very much. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Baron, what does your hat say?
Move on.
Okay.
Move on. This is. I should have like a sticker over it or something. It's the company I work for. So
just turn it around.
Just
turn it around.
Nobody can read it.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, don't worry about it. We have so much to dive into tonight, guys. First and foremost, let's go over the results for Forbidden Door. And we kick it off with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. They defeated Killswitch and Kip Sabian in a tag match by pinfall. Kyle Fletcher defeated Hiromu Takahashi for the championship. She Who Shall Not Be Named defeated Alex Windsor, Bozilla, and Persephone. That's one I got to learn. By the way, Bozilla, have you seen her? Holy shit, she's like 21, 22. She's a monster. Go look her up. Zack Sabre defeated Nigel McGuinness for the championship, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Brody King and Bandito beat the Hurt Syndicate and FTR by pinfall for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Kazuchika Okada with Don Callis defeated Swerve Strickland by pinfall for the AEW Unified Championship. Timeless Tony Storm defeated Athena by submission in the for the Women's World Championship. Hangman Adam Page defeated MJF, which was probably match of the night. That went on 31 minutes and 40 seconds. And Golden Lovers, Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay defeated the Death Riders in a lights out steel cage match, which was insane. It was fucking nuts. Go back and watch it. Watch some clips of it on YouTube. It was insane. And then we move on to NXT Heatwave, where we saw Lola Vice defeat Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan by pinfall in the triple threat match to determine for the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Dark States defeated Hank and Tank for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Ash by Elegance defeated JC Jane and Masha Slamovich in the triple threat match for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Blake Monroe defeated Jordan Grace by pinfall. Ethan Page and Chelsea Green won over Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele in pinfall. And Oba Femi defeated Javon Evans by pinfall for the NXT Championship. So a lot of PLEs. A lot of PLEs over the weekend that I forgot about, honestly. But hopefully you watched the PLEs. Hopefully you enjoyed them. And then we move on into the news because, my God, there was so much going on. And this is where we get to from the desk of Max Mages. Big thanks to ringsidenews.com for helping us out with our stories tonight. The Raja Jackson Knokx Pro and Syko Stu situation. On Saturday at a Knokx Pro event, there was a backstage incident where video shows Syko Stu, real name Stuart Smith, hit Raja in the head with a beer can. And you can audibly hear people telling Raja to sell it. Others say, hey, man, he's not part of the show. During a match, though, involving Syko Stu, video showed Raja entering the ring, slamming Stu on the mat and assaulting him. We know where video is of this incident. We're not going to show it for tonight because it is highly graphic and it doesn't need to be shown. But here's what we know so far. Raja Jackson is officially under LAPD investigation after the violent beatdown at the Knokx Pro Wrestling event that left Syko Stu hospitalized. It was all caught on camera. TMZ confirmed that police were called to the venue Saturday night after Raja, the son of former UFC light heavyweight champion Quentin Rampage Jackson, brutally attacked Syko Stu, real name Stuart Smith, during what was supposed to be a choreographed wrestling match. The LAPD has since opened an investigation and a full police report has been filed. The disturbing footage shows Raja unloading a barrage of punches on an unconscious Syko Stu as fans watched in horror. Multiple sources said the assault was completely off script and far beyond what was agreed upon. Douglas Mallow, Knokx Pro Wrestler, who was ringside during the incident, jumped in to break up the attack only to get attacked himself. He added, "It was tragic, barbaric. There were kids and families in the stands, including my own mother." A source connected to Knokx Pro made it clear that Raja is permanently banned from the promotion, saying that they guarantee he will never be welcomed back. The promotion also released a statement condemning the incident. To make matters worse, backstage footage surfaced earlier showing a heated AJ Mana telling Raja to give him his fucking receipt following the beer can spot gone wrong. Tag his shit, bro. If they got a fucking problem with it, I'll run out there. AJ can be heard saying. Raja is an MMA fighter, and Rampage Jackson has since publicly responded and apologized for his son's behavior, saying that he is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, had no business involved in an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. Knokx Pro broke silence on social media, saying, first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with our brother, Mr. Stuart Smith, a.k.a. Syko Stu, as he remains a priority and we're monitoring his well-being. What was supposed to be a planned and agreed-upon wrestling spot turned into a selfish, irresponsible act of violence against Mr. Smith. This outrageous act is reprehensible and should have never occurred. Knokx Pro wrestler Joe Freeze called out Raja, making it clear he disrespected the entire locker room and vowed that Jackson's actions would not go unanswered. And fans took to social media to demand that the LAPD investigate Raja for attempted murder, which is now under investigation. And a GoFundMe has been set up for Syko Stu, which that link is in the description of our video. So far, they've raised over $100,000 for Stu, which is great. Knokx Pro was affiliated with the WWE ID program to call up indie wrestlers to the company, but they have quietly cut their ties with the LA-based promotion. And Max, a lot of fingers have been pointing the blame for this entire situation. First off, the internet fans were blamed. And who blamed them? Val Venus. He took to Twitter and reacted to the brutal attack on Syko Stu by blaming online wrestling fans. He argued that Raja Jackson was in a godless state of mind that was influenced by internet groups, comparing them to those in the IWC. Venus claimed that some AEW and WWE stars encourage young, troubled people to embrace what he called harmful ideologies, including wokeness, gender questioning, and pro-choice beliefs. Before we get into what you got to say, Hall of Famer Mark Henry also claims that Syko Stu was at fault. And he spoke on TMZ Sports saying, quote, "I do know what I saw. It looked like he wasn't smart. He wasn't smart to what was going on. And the dude that was messing with him bit off more than he could chew. You got to be careful with who you're messing with. And what kind of example are you as a veteran for inciting a riot with a kid? I mean, he's not 12, but he's significantly younger. And you want to make sure that everyone knows what we're doing." And even RVD claimed Jackson was manipulated into the brutal attack, saying, quote, "So Raja doesn't know shit about wrestling. That's what I understand. I heard it from him saying on the stream before he gets to the event. He says, you know, my boys got this wrestling event I'm going to support. I don't know shit about wrestling," end quote. And I believe him. RVD says he's got concussion symptoms. His head is really fucking with him a lot, and he's been having an upset stomach, end quote. And now, according to what RVD said, Raja Jackson only did what he said he would do and what others told him to do. He believes Raja was a tool that he was used to manipulate.
Oh, he's a tool.
When Raja got angry, people calmed him down and told him that he'd get a chance in the ring. RVD pointed out that AJ Mana, the one in the cowboy hat, told him to give Stu a receipt and promised to step in if anyone had an issue. Now, Max, I know you've got some words. Go ahead, sir.
First off, let's talk about what a receipt is for people that don't know. And then I'm going to get angry after we talk about this part. For a receipt is like, say I hit Dizzy with a steel chair, and then later he comes back and gets me back for it. That's a receipt. Now, if you do this properly and appropriately, a receipt is fine. I saw a lot of people saying that that this industry should do away with the receipts, that there's got to be a better way. That you can do a receipt, but you have to do it the right way. The problem is AJ Mana telling him to go get the receipt when Raja is not trained in this business was not the right way to handle that. Now, as far as everybody pointing fingers, why don't you take a minute and point some fingers at yourself? Okay. Yes, he hit him in the head with a beer can. I saw one report that said he smashed a beer bottle. That's not true. I watched the video. It was a beer can.
Yep.
Okay. He hit him with a beer can. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. But the reciprocation should have been somewhat equivalent. What Raja did was damn near kill a man. Listen, okay, let me be clear about something. No matter what he did, and it was on video, so it wasn't that bad, that does not clear you from putting a vet in the hospital who got in pro wrestling to deal with his PTSD. I hope he doesn't suffer any more trauma for this. And for those of you pointing the fingers, Rampage, your response to this seems kind of empty, in my opinion. You need to call him out, not just say you don't condone it. Call him out. He is your son. Teach him better.
He also said that he would beat up any pro wrestler who tries to go after his son.
Yeah, well, you know what, Rampage? I get it. You were good in the UFC ring, but there are some wrestlers out there that will wipe the floor with your ass. So just be careful what you threaten and what you wish for. Now, RVD, I got a lot of respect for you, but on this, you're wrong. They should have. This is on Raja. He made a decision to take it too far. Yes, AJ had an effect on that, but Raja took it too far. Mark Henry, I love you as well, but same thing. You're in the wrong. Let's get to the last person on this list real quick. Val, I don't know when you lost your fucking mind, but you seem to have taken it one step further with this one. And you're sitting there blaming me, because let's not mince words. We don't talk politics on this show for a reason, but I want to be clear about something. Your words, the things you use to describe the people that you are blaming for this, they describe me. So if you feel the need to blame me, come on up to Colorado. We'll have a nice little chat about why you think you should blame me for what happened in that ring. That's on Raja. And Mr. Ref, by the way, you standing back and pretending nothing was happening, you're in the wrong as well here.
Yeah.
Everybody involved in this situation needs to take some accountability. There was one guy. There was two guys, and then later more joined in. But the guy with the face paint that jumped into the ring, you earned my respect for that. And then there's a guy right after that with shaved sides, maybe dreadlocks. I have to rewatch it. Mm-hmm. But that guy also earned my respect. The rest of you waited too long. If you guys had jumped in there sooner, maybe Stu would have not gone to the hospital. But at the end of the day, let me say this one more time. Raja made a choice. His stupid decision put a veteran in the hospital. Fuck that.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's just look at, let's take a positive real quick and look how much money they've raised for Syko Stu. This is just amazing. And this has been just what, since Saturday, Sunday, whenever this was made. I don't even know when this was made, but man, this is so good to see. Really good.
Yeah. I mean, like, clearly that was something. It was very hard to watch, right? We've all seen the clips on Twitter, wherever we watch the clips, right? Here's my unpopular opinion in the whole matter. First and foremost, fuck Val Penis, Sean Morley. The dumbest fucking comment I read and heard all fucking day long. We're not going to get on a political tyrant, but fuck off. And secondly, is I think there's a lot more people to blame in this party. Now, was any not scapegoating and backing up Raj here on this, because, like, absolutely in the wrong. But I feel like the foundation and the company itself dropped the ball completely on this. I guarantee you there was not any conversations prior to this happening other than just getting the receipt, right? You have to explain things to people that are not a part of wrestling very deeply. So that falls on the promotion as well. So there's many parties to blame in this situation. Yeah, well, yeah, Mr. Beast on that list was on there with like $10,000 donation.
10,000.
Yeah, I mean, that dude's just fucking throwing money left and right, which is awesome. But like, I feel like there's a lot more people involved in this than the said person. Obviously, what he did was entirely uncalled for, not right. He also had a concussion.
Yeah.
Going into this, right? So his brain clearly was not all there. From the very first video I seen where the beer can smashing over her head, it should have stopped there.
Absolutely.
That should have been it.
Yeah.
We all know the violent tempers of most UFC fighters out there. So like there's a lot of people to blame for this. I think it's all, it's another social media thing where we're hearing everybody's fucking wild opinions that we don't need to hear. RVD for one. Sean Marley, you're another one. Mark Henry, your opinion was terrible. So like I feel bad for the whole entire thing, but there's a lot of people to blame for this outside of the said person that did that, right? Nobody did shit in the ring. There was a good solid 30 to 45 seconds before anybody reacted. Why would the ref, like Max said, you seen the very first punch go down to his face? That's when you stop it, right?
Yeah.
And he continued to allow him to do this, knowing that those punches were connecting. They're not your typical WWE punches, right? So, and also was this a mutual agreement with both parties where he said, go ahead and hit me, just like go back to Big Show and Floyd Mayweather back.
Well, how he slammed him on the mat. I mean, his head just absolutely conked him out. I mean, he was just out.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to point out is that now, since the LAPD is involved in doing an investigation, the promotion has told their wrestlers to not talk to the police. Do not cooperate with the police, which is bullshit. Bullshit. They need to be accountable for that. Everybody in this situation that had something to do with it for it to go south like this needs to be held fucking accountable. Now, I'm not saying that Syko Stu was completely in the clear, because he clearly heard that, hey, he's not part of the show, yet he still continued to pursue it.
But they said that after he hit him with the can, but they backed him off at that point.
Yeah, but he still didn't disengage. He didn't disengage.
He did not. I mean, that's why I said there's many parties involved in this, so we can't just pin it on one set.
And I don't know.
What he did in the ring was absolutely the worst thing you could possibly do in the ring. But here's the thing that pisses me off with this, though. Everybody knows that any individual hopping into a ring, in a wrestling ring, they get the ultimate beatdown, right? There was no punches thrown at this kid. Nothing other than pulling him off, breaking it up. I think that falls on the promotion itself, right? Like, that is distasteful. If he jumped in a WWE ring against grown adults that are in very, very great health in WWE or AEW, for that example, he would have got the snot beat out of him, right? Like,
I said maybe Punk.
Even Punk? I mean, like, yeah, maybe not Punk, but
that's not a knock on Punk overall. That's a knock on Punk's UFC career. Yeah. There's one more thing I want to respond to here. Something that Dizzy just said about Knokx Pro telling their people not to cooperate with the police. So right now, this is addressed to those of you that work for Knokx Pro. If your company is telling you do not cooperate with the police after an incident like that, you do not work for that company anymore. You cooperate with the police. They need all your information right now so that this can be handled properly.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. They need to get down to the bottom of this. And another thing is, after the whole thing happened, cameras followed Raja outside, or a phone or whatever they got this on. And Raja took a call on his phone. And I don't know what was said on that, between that phone call, between whoever was on that, whoever was on the other line with Raja. but you could clearly hear Raja say, "My bad." Yeah, dude, it's your fucking bad. It's your fucking bad, bro. Fuck. Kidding me? This is a whole unfortunate situation that didn't have to go down like this. And now Knokx Pro is no longer affiliated with the WWE. None of their wrestlers are going to be able to, with that promotion, get a shot, get a shot at the WWE at the big time, you know?
I mean, that's another reason to no longer work for that company. But Styles did make a really good point. He said, I wouldn't be surprised if that promotion gets its license pulled from the commission.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. If they hadn't said don't cooperate with the police, maybe they get another shot and don't have to lose their license. But the fact that they told their people to not cooperate with an active police investigation, I'm sorry. State of California, the Athletic Commission, I think it's time to send a message to promoters like this. Pull that license and be done with them.
Yeah, I completely agree. And another person that completely agrees with us is Jim Cornette. He has a very
be on the same page as Corny.
I know. And he has a very different thought. He took to Twitter, now known as X, and tweeted the following. Apparently, this moron son of Rampage Jackson decides not only to commit attempted murder, but confesses to it beforehand on a tape that he's the one recording and broadcasting. Didn't criminals used to get away with that shit? I'm going to go back. I'm going back out in the yard with a limb lopper. I'm sorry, with my limb lopper. One fan tried to push back defending Jackson, which I don't know why they're defending Raja, but they said he was ordered to deliver the receipt and wasn't a performer, but a real fighter. Cornette wasn't having it. And I quote, this is what the fan said. I'd block you for being so stupid, but instead I'll let the world see it. Giving an unconscious guy brain damage as a receipt. Nobody involved. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this was from Cornette. He said, I'd block you for being so stupid, but instead I'll let the world see it. Giving an unconscious guy brain damage as a receipt. Nobody involved in this fiasco is an entertainer or a pro. And if this lunatic is a fighter, then he knows, and he should get double time. Also, fuck off.
It stopped being a receipt when Stu was unconscious.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Everything after that should have been the end of it. Oh, he's unconscious. He's got his receipt. I'm walking away. But you took it a step too far. You beat the shit out of an unconscious man. What does that make you? Yeah.
Now I read also that Raja's MMA shot could be fucked because of this.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sad about it, but you know, it's like I said, it's just a very unfortunate situation, and it shouldn't have happened. And
Stu, we hope you recover quick. We're very sorry to hear about this.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you know, the person in the ring that was throwing those punches also had brain damage going into that ring. This is why this is an overall issue regarding all parties involved that needs to be addressed very easily. And there shouldn't be too much that the police department needs to have questioning from anybody in that arena. We watched the whole fucking thing on video. Mm-hmm. Move on. Let's get some booking done, or, you know, get this shit resolved. There's not any need for questioning. We've seen what happened on the feeds, you know. Yeah.
I mean, it's floating everywhere on social media. So Stu, we're thinking of you, buddy, and we hope you have a very, very speedy recovery. We hope you get out of that promotion.
And when Raja's down here, he'll float too.
Let's move on to some AEW or some WWE news. And Becky Lynch might have gone just a bit too far on the August 25th episode of Raw. And now WWE is scrambling behind the scenes. The promo, which aired live from Birmingham, saw Lynch take a cheap shot at the late Ozzy Osbourne using his death to draw heat from the UK crowd. That decision has led to major backlash from fans and even Ozzy's daughter, Kelly Osbourne. While trying to insult Birmingham during her segment, Lynch delivered a line that immediately triggered outrage. She said, and I quote, "The only good thing that came out of here died a month ago. But in fairness to Ozzy Osbourne, he had the good sense to move to LA, a proper city, because I lived in Birmingham. If I live in Birmingham, I'd die too," end quote. That line was not cleared by the WWE or the Osbourne family. Now, Kelly Osbourne didn't stay silent. She posted to her Instagram story shortly after the episode aired and made her feelings crystal clear. She said, and I quote, "You are a disrespectful dirtbag. Shame on the WWE for allowing such things to be said about my father in his home," end quote. WWE is set to apologize formally to Kelly Osbourne. But Max, you are our resident heel. You're also our resident promoter for the show. Was that smart of Lynch to do that?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. First off, I don't think it was that bad. I really don't. But maybe it wasn't smart, but the purpose of a heel is to piss you off. I mean, when I go out to that ring, I want you mad enough to kill me. This is not defending you, Rajah, so don't think it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You don't have to act on it. I want you mad enough to kill me. I want you spitting nails. I want you so pissed at me. You want to see me get my comeuppance. And that's why you see the heels come out on top so much, is because you're bringing the fans back in to see them get what they deserve for the things they've said, the things they've done. Now, there are lines that we don't cross. I don't think this was across the line. But one thing I don't do, and one thing that I don't believe should be done, is you don't pick on somebody's dead relative. Now, in this case, this is different. She was talking about a celebrity. She wasn't picking on him. She was actually praising him for being the best thing to come out of Birmingham. But what I mean is, I had a wrestler that I was working with out here a few years ago, and his mom passed away, and she was one of his biggest fans. She was at every one of his shows. She made sure he was in the business, and one of the heels out here, in the act of challenging him for a match, invoked the dead mother in a promo. And I felt that was across the line. That's for me, that's one of those lines that you don't cross. Use her to piss off your opponent. Leave the dead relative out of it. Find another way to push your opponent's buttons. That's not right, because now in your case, you disrespected her memory.
Right.
I don't think Becky did that. I honestly, I don't. She disrespected Birmingham, but to me, that's the only thing she disrespected. And so, no, I don't think she went too far. I think she did just fine.
I think it falls in the same line, though. That's where the question of the day comes to us. Where do the lines between being a heel and downright disrespectful cross?
Here's the thing. We talked about this on the show a while back, where you guys, all three of you, had the opinion kind of like, you're a heel, you'd be able to do these type of things, right? Like, somebody cut another promo not too long ago, and we talked about it on the show, and you guys are like, this is just basic heel work, right? So what draws the line here now? Because this is no different than that. I mean, for fuck's sakes, we've had so many promos and storylines throughout the year that are way more worse off than what this is, because like Max said, she was actually knocking the city, Birmingham, and not Ozzy Osbourne in any way. I don't even actually get that from this segment at all. I thought it was actually pretty good, and it got the reaction as it should. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's any,
listen, let me be fair. If I'm a heel and I go to St. Louis, do you know what I'm going to talk about? Your city is so bad that your football team decided to move to a different state. That's going to draw me heat in St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
No, actually, because the fickle fans in St. Louis wouldn't give a fuck. That's why they left, because the fan base couldn't pay the goddamn taxes for a new stadium.
That's
so
true.
they had to move all the way to Los Angeles. So really, no, they probably wouldn't. And
Yes,
I
but-
would applaud you for that, because fuck the St. Louis base for that, because that was the most selfish thing. You're seeing it now with the Cardinals right now, to where nobody's even going to the fucking games because they're trash.
You wait,
St.
hold on.
Louis.
You let her guilt you into changing your hat?
Well,
That's not the Baron I know.
No, I just bought this hat today, though. So when I went to go smoke, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw this on.
I love it.
And listen, picking on the sports team is low-hanging fruit. But with what I said, I picked on the city, not the football team. I actually made it sound like the football team did the right thing. You know what I mean? When you go in there and you talk about, oh, Green Bay's football team is terrible, that's low-hanging fruit. I don't think Becky went after low-hanging fruit. I think she did a good job. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, as a heel, she did what she was supposed to do. She was supposed to get that reaction. I wish that she would have at least cleared the line through WWE before she said it, or clear it through the Osborne family, since he is in the Hall of Fame. I wish she would have gone down that avenue to do that, at least. But as far as that goes, I don't really have a problem with what she said. Honestly,
No, I think Ozzy would be laughing.
Yeah,
I think he would find it funny. The Osbournes of all fucking people could relate to that type of humor. Okay,
and I think Ozzy would have said, she's right. Birmingham was a shitty city.
Yeah. I seen a lot of buzz about this. I don't think this was a issue. I can see where people take it the wrong way, obviously, because that's just what the internet does. But this is just another standard promo, and we've had much worse. We've had people come out with the Iranian flag and done so many different things. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, I mean, Michael shoving the Canadian flag up his nose. Yeah.
Everybody likes to call Katie Vick one of the most disgusting storylines, worst thing WWE ever did, right? But what about Muhammad Hassan?
Exactly.
We've crossed some lines in wrestling. I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah. Well, just go with CM Punk and Jeff Hardy back in the day with his drug abuse. That's a serious topic, right?
Yeah, that's a big topic.
I mean, I'm not talking death, but it could have led to death. But so there's so many things, and I think WWE is, anybody that's lived through the Attitude Era has seen it and heard it all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Well,
we've seen some things.
We have seen some things in the Attitude Era for sure.
A lot of things.
Let's talk some numbers real quick for SmackDown. By the way, let us know in the chat what your thoughts are on the last topic for the question of the day. I'll leave it up there for you. The August 22nd edition of Friday Night SmackDown had a lot of memorable moments from top to bottom, especially the John Cena promo when he destroyed Logan Paul. But according to Programming Insider, the August 22nd, 2025 edition of Friday Night SmackDown on USA Network averaged 1.258 million viewers. That's 12.0% decrease from the 1.430 million viewers on August 15. In the P18 to 49 key demo, SmackDown drew a 0.35 rating, holding steady with last week. However, in the A25 to 54 demo, the show dropped from 0.51 to 0.45, about a negative 11.8%. The household rating also fell from 0.83 to 0.73, translating to just a few million homes, honestly. Compared to last week's episode, it was over a million. But good or bad, we always discuss AEW's numbers once they're revealed, and we always give the same coverage to SmackDown. and to the WWE. Now,
on those numbers, real quick though, we have to reflect that the shows weren't on until they were on at like 2:00 in the evening, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
So I mean, like that's naturally going to lose a lot of viewers because the vast majority of humans are still working.
Right.
So that number is kind of reflective. And you're talking about numbers. We're getting into the season where all wrestling numbers are about to plummet with football coming up from college to the NFL, right? So
yeah, that has
we're gonna
been
see these numbers drop pretty good.
that has always been their biggest enemy is pro football. But NBC Universal, NBC Universal made a major play to keep the WWE fans locked into their Peacock subscriptions by taking Saturday night's main event off network TV altogether instead of airing it on NBC, where it could pull strong ratings. The event will now stream exclusively on Peacock. And Dave Meltzer explained on Wrestling Observer Radio that the move was all about protecting streaming subscriber numbers, even if it meant sacrificing exposure to on traditional TV. Meltzer broke down NBC's strategy behind the scenes, noting that they deliberately picked nights with weak TV competition to run WWE, avoiding dates where bigger sports events might clash, saying, and I quote, they would run Saturday night's main event on Saturday nights where they had nothing that was going to do any business. If there was something big, they'd have moved WWE to another week. WWE was programming for on a night where NBC had no good games, end quote. Now, the impact of the shift will especially be clear on December 13th when John Cena wrestles what's expected to be his retirement match exclusively on Peacock. But if the bout is aired on NBC, it could have drawn massive mainstream interest, but Meltzer made it clear past TV numbers didn't justify that. From a financial standpoint, WWE is not losing out. Uncle Dave said that the money from SNME it will be rolled into the larger SmackDown rights package. So WWE still gets paid, just not with the same reach. NBC Universal's gamble is clear, though. Prioritize long-term subscriber retention over short-term TV ratings. Whether that pays off for the WWE and its fans, we'll have to see. But where does that leave NXT and their PLEs? Well, fans won't have to scramble to find new streaming home just yet, despite WWE's billion-dollar shift that brings main roster PLEs to ESPN's direct-to-consumer platform after Clash in Paris. The black and silver brand isn't making that move, at least for now. And Sean Ross Sapp confirmed during the August 25th episode of Fightful Report podcast that WWE's new ESPN deal went through only after Peacock gave the green light. But not everything is leaving Peacock. In fact, two key WWE properties are going to stay put for the time being, and that is NXT PLEs will remain on Peacock, as well as SNME, not on NBC, though. This means that events like Deadline, Halloween Havoc, and Stand and Deliver will stream on Peacock. And even WWE's biggest shows begin a new era under the Disney-owned ESPN umbrella, which, guys, we've talked about this on a previous episode of Ramblers Unleashed. We discussed that before the WWE network was sunset, we wondered if WWE would wind up on a Disney-owned network, and now it's come to fruition. And did we think this was going to happen, Max? Did you think?
I figured eventually Disney would end up having some stake in it. I actually thought they were going to end up owning the WWE at one point. The fact that we're moving to a Disney-owned service means that Santina Marella is finally a Disney princess. Round of applause for Santina Marella.
Yeah.
And listen, how can you not expect Disney to have some kind of involvement in wrestling? Have you never seen that Disney owns literally everything?
I was going to say Disney literally owns everything, network-wise. It's not even funny. They're just like Frito-Lay and like these Coca-Cola. They own fucking every single venture there is.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising at all. I wouldn't classify it as Disney. I mean, is Disney own ESPN? Sure, but like it's a totally separate network. The only reason why they got into ESPN is based off of TKO's relationship with ESPN. Like that's that, right? I don't see much changing because when you think of Disney, you think of child friendly, right? Like, so I don't expect anything changing on that front. But it's not surprising because Disney literally owns a lot of shit.
Yeah, let's throw up a picture that Max just shared here, and of course we have Warner Brothers, we have Nintendo, we have McDonald's, we have what is that?
Token Animation.
Yeah, there you go. DC, we have 20th Century Fox, we have Marvel and Lucasfilms, and over here is the evil mouse. And
I think there's a lot more than that list right there that they own.
Oh yeah, this is an older image, but I mean, I think it demonstrates the point pretty decently. I think at some point they will end up owning Warner Brothers, which means they will own AEW's TV rights.
I don't know. I think if Disney were to buy anything right now, Paramount is suffering big time. So I think Disney
Paramount just signed a deal with Skydance. Skydance is purchasing them.
Yeah, but they're still struggling, and I think I don't know, man. I think that these networks are in trouble, especially Warner Brothers Discovery is in trouble, and it's just a scary, weird situation that we're all in as far as what these networks are doing, because the TV networks are killing them. You know, these smaller owned networks. I mean, think about what Disney owns. They own FX, they own FXX, they own Disney, they own all these other small Disney channels. Even Disney is feeling the hurt, you know. ABC is a bigger network, but still, everybody's hurting, you know. So we'll just have to see what happens. But at least
I want you all to know Dizzy caused this. Everybody hurts.
Yep, 100%.
Stop it,
God damn Disney.
God
damn. I blended Disney and Disney in together there. Disney. Yeah, I mean, like it's still great though. You're getting on, getting on a large network with ESPN. So like I don't think there's any negative come from this, right?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I really don't.
That means Alexa Bliss is also a Disney princess. Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Let's move on to some AEW news, and it's time for Baron's Buzzkill Moment, thanks to RingsideNews.com. And AEW weekly viewership has always been a huge topic on this show and online. And it seems that Tony Khan has now seemingly walked back a viewership report that had previously, he said, was accurate. While speaking during the post-AEW Forbidden Door media scrum, Tony Khan was asked if AEW is hitting the million mark between cable and Max with live and same-day views. Khan admitted he wasn't sure, saying that while a report suggested that they might be, he didn't have the exact numbers. What he did know is that AEW ranks as one of the top sports shows. He compared AEW's performance on Max to NHL streaming, noting that AEW likely has a strong chance of being a major presence in the sports tab on HBO Max. Khan also mentioned that there will be more opportunities to build relationships with HBO Max in the future. However, he stated that he doesn't have nearly the same amount of detailed data from Max that he gets from TBS, and if he did, he would be analyzing it thoroughly. This comes after Tony Khan was asked about Bethel's report that AEW Dynamite gets 500,000 viewers on Max, and said it matched with what he's been hearing behind the scenes. He said it was exciting news for AEW, and the report fits with the information he's received. So, Baron, it's kind of interesting that TK decided to walk back the viewership report that he previously was so confident about. Do you think they'll reach the 1 million mark, or what are your thoughts, bud?
No, I don't think they would. I am so disgusted by that. That clip you shared with us on Twitter or on X, whatever we're calling it these days, is the nastiest, dumbest fucking thing I've seen, with Moxley and that fork and driving it. Like, come the fuck on, dude. That's not. You're trying to legitimize your company and call it the standard barrier of wrestling, and doing shit like that is just fucking stupid. This is not CZW, ECW. The times have moved on from that. I am so over that promotion, man. And there's you're hearing stories left and right of people jumping from there. Last I heard, Chris Jericho may be coming back to WWE.
Yeah, there might be an opportunity where he comes back in for the Royal Rumble.
You just made the list.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying, man. There's just so much dysfunctional shit happening over there. They're so focused on their TV ratings, or whatever ratings they're going for, where they're going to be on the network. To me, it's just, even if you're a massive fan or not a fan of AEW, I feel like the HBO Max is just not the greatest platform for that, you know. But that's just my opinion. You guys know my opinion on that.
Yeah, Max, you and I have always gone back and forth with this the numbers. You know, we've always talked about the numbers on TBS and TNT, and they've never really released the numbers on HBO Max. So I'd like to know your thoughts on it too, man.
Well, first off, let me just say, we were having a conversation last night, about what time Raw aired, and I'm not going to name any names. One of us was pretty upset about what time it aired because of where they're at. They had to air it at a different time. And let me be honest about that real quick. Do you know why they do that? Why do they go to Europe and then just air it live while they're there? Because Europe shows up. And even as crappy as AEW programming has been, Europe shows up. That arena for Forbidden Door was pretty well packed. I'm not sure I believe the numbers that they put out.
Over
I don't know.
18,000.
I'm not sure there was that many people there, but it was pretty packed. I'm not going to deny that. As far as the Jon Moxley incident, there's a time and place for hardcore. You're doing it wrong. You're going too far. We just talked about this last week. You know, the company is not paying you enough for the risk you're taking. And that was just stupid. That's
just this. I don't even know how to describe it. It's distasteful. Like, it just, is that wrestling? Is that what we're saying is entertainment to fans? Who enjoyed that type of shit?
I mean, even death matches don't quite go to that brutality, and death matches are brutal.
They are, but there's a massive reason why death matches or anything that extreme hardcore is not on cable TV or on PLEs for us to get, right? There's a fine reason for it. There's not a large enough audience for it.
Right.
I'd rather watch trampoline fucking wrestling than watch that shit.
Lingerie trampoline wrestling, just for the record. As far as AEW's numbers here in the U.S., he's not doing nearly as well as he wants you to think he is. We've seen the arenas during the shows. We've seen it. We know what kind of crowd he's drawing to the live events. And once again, I'd like to remind everybody that this all started with an exploding fucking ring, okay? Mm-hmm. You cannot sell your product and put sparklers on your corner post and say your ring exploded. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into this next statement here in just a second. I have said for a long time that Tony Khan sits there in his basement with his little wrestling ring and his little pro wrestlers, and that's how he books the show. Mm-hmm. And you can see it in the crowd response. You can see it in the numbers of them turning up at shows. There are good matches, don't get me wrong, and the workers there are amazing. I've been fans of some of them for many years. But Tony, you've got to book the stories better if you want to keep the fans. The only people that you're holding on to are the stands right now. I mean, even the more casual fans are walking away. I love pro wrestling, and I couldn't even get 5 minutes into your show a couple months ago. That's just your booking. Your numbers are reflecting your booking. Please, for the love of God, if you're not going to hire me, find somebody to teach you how to do it right.
Well, let's talk about toys and stuff like that, and let's bring up Jake Hager. He left AEW last year, and it's clear he isn't really happy with how things turned out for him, as he just went nuclear on Tony Khan for not being a professional. While speaking to Chris Van Vliet, Jake Hager said he stopped loving pro wrestling after the second Blood and Guts match in Las Vegas with Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli. When his first AEW contract ended, he felt the negotiations were unfair and one-sided. He believed that Tony Khan didn't want him there anymore and was frustrated with the offer that he got. Hager said Khan only offered him an 18-month deal, even though he'd been part of big matches like Stadium Stampede, which he felt he helped put AEW on the map. He thought that this showed Khan didn't value his work, and Hager didn't mince any words, saying, and I quote, "It was right after the second Blood and Guts in Vegas with Daniel Bryan and Cesaro. My first contract with AEW was up, and after that, the negotiation process was very one-sided, and I could tell he didn't want me there. And I'll say this every day, and everyone else should too, fuck Tony Khan." Jake Hager also didn't like how Khan started running the company. After CM Punk drama, some wrestlers had a private meeting with Sting, Big Show, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley. But Khan interrupted, came in yelling, and forced him into a 6-man tag match within just minutes' notice. Hager thought that it was very disrespectful, especially since Khan also treated Sting that way while planning to honor him at retirement. Hager said the wrestlers became like playthings for Khan. They often had to wait outside his office, and Khan forced only flashy debuts but couldn't follow through with long-term stories, and added that Khan couldn't handle criticism. He made mistakes and left the roster to deal with it. Hager said it was frustrating because the original group had helped build AEW from the ground up, but in the end, everything was ran only the way Tony Khan wanted. This comes after Jake Hager also stated that he felt disrespected during his contract negotiations with AEW. He even accused Tony Khan of being a communist and threatening his job over his political stance. So at the end of the day, Hager is clearly unhappy with how Tony Khan ran the company, and that's not going to change anytime soon. And if you go to work and claim that you're with this political whatever, and they fire you, that's discrimination. Or they treat you in an unfair manner, that's discrimination. So how is this any different from what Tony Khan did to Jake Hager? If these allegations are true, how does that make that any different? And we've said this from the jump. We've talked about this from the jump. We know exactly. We see it. Like you watch AEW on TV, and we see it that the wrestlers are unhappy. Look at Britt Baker. Britt Baker is fucking not on TV because of what Tony Khan is doing to her. And it just, this brings up everything to light.
I'm not going to disagree with a lot of the things we've said here. First and foremost, I would love to ask the question to wrestlers or anybody that states political shit. What is communism? What is a communist? Okay, just don't use that word in 2025 because you actually just disregarded every single thing you just said with bringing that word up, because you clearly have no fucking idea what that meaning means. But nonetheless, I think it is clear as day that Tony Khan is playing with action figures. I think we can all agree upon that, right? Like, he's a kid playing with action figures and doing his thing, and that's why there's a lot of people unhappy with the place. And that has got to be sorted. But you know what? Vince McMahon did the same fucking thing. So, you know, it's hard to like disregard them on that front because like we literally lived that for 20, 30 fucking years with Vince McMahon. He did that with people. Tossed them out, did that type of shit. And it's bad for the morale, man. We've seen what happened when Trips took over, changed the morale over there. I'm not saying Tony needs to just sell the company and go elsewhere. He needs to step back and let somebody else run that, right? Like a commissioner or general manager type of ordeal, and let them run that promotion. Like, why is Young Bucks vice presidents, but they have really probably no say in it, right? Just like Cody Rhodes, like they're the ones that started this foundation. They just found that a very good investor with a lot of money to funnel it. And when you see someone like Cody Rhodes leave to go somewhere else, you know some shit's wrong. However, Hager, he's a complete and utter fucking idiot. So I don't believe shit he ever says. He has been since day one. Any interview, just it's whatever. But nonetheless, there's a lot of stuff happening back there that they definitely need to figure out some kind of solve for it, because it's becoming a problem and it's going to blow over big time with a lot of these big names, and they're going to lose a lot of people. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and Max, it just this like makes everything come together, that what we've been talking about. And yeah, I mean, you lose names like you lost Chris Jericho. He's been gone for a while. You know, Paul White is a big name over there at AEW. I feel like John Moxley is a big name over at AEW. Sting, he's gone. I mean, he was on his way to retirement anyway, but it's still you talk about these big names and what happens if they get pushed to the limit, because this is actually, if you think about it, is this worse than what WCW was doing to their wrestlers?
I mean, I think the difference between AEW and WCW was you had like 20 people running shit, which is what caused the downfall, because you had too many cooks in the kitchen wanting to get their shit in. AEW has one guy who decided he's going to control everything. And when AEW was good, back when the Elite was the bookers, yeah, sure, maybe Omega had the title a little too much. Maybe Cody was champ a little too much. But they actually put on a hell of a show when they were booking the stories. When Tony took it over, it went downhill because he doesn't know what he's doing. Does he have the passion? Sure, maybe, but you have to have a working knowledge of putting together a good story to put with that passion. Otherwise, you're going to put on an exploding ring that looks like shit. Yes, I'm never going to forgive you for that, Tony, just so you know.
Well, AEW is not only under fire from Jake Hager, but they're under fire after the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees called out the company for not paying proper wages as part of the Philadelphia residency. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, also the IATSE, took to their Facebook account and criticized the promotion for not paying fair wages and benefits to its members during the company's Philadelphia residency. The IATSE said that local 8 members were out this week to let the public know that AEW events in Philadelphia are failing to meet arena standards by offering substandard pay and benefits. The union warned that when employers undercut these standards, it puts at risk the wages, benefits, and job opportunities of all entertainment workers in the community. They also gave full support to Local 8 members, saying that they stand in solidarity as those workers push to hold employers accountable and fight for the fair treatment and protections they deserve. This comes after AEW is setting up shop at Philadelphia's historic 2300 Arena for a 3rd week residency, which will start tomorrow and end in September 11th. This is a new issue where it shows it could be a problem behind the scenes. And what Jake Hager said might not be wrong at all. And now what IATSE's statement is spreading, AEW leaders will face pressure to explain themselves and take action on fair pay and benefits for the workers who run their shows. So we'll have to see what they say in the end. But guys, that's not good. Baron, that's not good, man.
Unionize, motherfuckers. I'm about sick of that type of shit. You know what? Unionize. Just do it. I have a feeling, though, there's plenty of fair pay going over there. I don't know. I feel like
will not be named. I'm sure she's making a killing.
Paying them an eighth of cocaine is not fair pay.
Well, let's take the average price of that. There, Max. I think that's pretty good fair pay. Depends on the potency, obviously, and purity. But nonetheless, I feel like a lot of those people over there are getting paid very well. The problem is they have so many people on their roster, man. Like, what are they supposed to do, right? They've stacked it to a point where you can't pay everyone properly. Yeah, there's a lot of shit wrong with AEW. I think we address it very well on a weekly basis.
Well, yeah.
I think we all know it's just like being a Dallas Cowboys fan. There's our one problem that we have, and that's our general manager owner.
Wait, is he on
Jerry Jones? So it's the same stance with AEW. Their only problem, because we note it, they got the talent on their roster. They have some of the best wrestling when they do it right in the ring. They're lacking development and storytelling. The rest is pretty fucking solid, right? And that all goes back to the booker, which is currently, obviously, Coke Man. So,
yeah.
You know, and here's your problem. How can you pay them fairly when you're not making enough money off of ticket sales and buy rates? I mean, he's hemorrhaging money. Daddy's not going to hold the purse strings open indefinitely. They're loaded. Don't get me wrong, but his dad's not going to sit there and go, "Oh, you need to pay your workers more here, son. Pay them more." You know, at some point he's got to stand on his own, and until he can put coherent stories together, he can't stand on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I wish he would just realize that and turn the company over to somebody who could handle.
Yeah, because they have a good thing going on, man.
Yeah,
like, they have some good, solid shit, solid stars. There's so much potential, and I hate that we have to bitch about them every week, but like it's a real problem, dude.
But soon they're gonna fuck around and find out. Honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, go ahead.
I'm not big on the Bucks, but come on. They would be better at booking this than he is.
Well, they are doing pretty good at booking themselves when they come out to the ring. I don't know if you guys saw it on Forbidden, but they are making fun of themselves, being former EVPs. They went back to their original music, their entrance music. It's just been very comical to watch the EVPs come out and how the whole company is turned against them, you know, and what the storyline is on that. But I agree. I think that Tony Khan needs to wake up. He needs to step back and say, you know what, we're just going to let you guys handle everything. I'm going to go over here and just collect some more money from my dad.
Listen, you can handle the financial side. Let these guys handle the booking of it.
Yeah.
And I realize that part of the reason for this is because Max Caster kind of crossed the line when he was cutting a promo, and Tony Khan said, "Nope, I control all the booking. I have to edit the promos before they go out. You have to run them by me." And I know that Max Caster is a big part of the reason why that happened. I get that. But you don't know what you're doing, so you're the wrong one to control it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's move on to a promotion that is actually doing very, very well, and that's TNA. And unfortunately, Sami Callihan was not just cutting a promo. His final match at TNA Emergence marked the true end of an era. After losing a brutal Baltimore street fight to Mike Santana, Callihan lived up to his vow and walked away from the ring. But now we know why. So according to Fightful Select, the former TNA World Champion has been struggling physically following a string of serious injuries, and that pain has been taking a toll, which, you know, these wrestlers go through a lot. And, you know, as they're young when they retire and they put their body through hell. But Callahan still made it to the ring one last time, where he faced off with Santana in a fight that saw chairs, chaos, and consequences. After eating a brutal spin the block, Callahan was pinned, and just like that, his 1,417th match career was over. In true wrestling tradition, he left his boots in the ring before exiting for the final time. Backstage, emotions ran high. While talent lined up to pay their respects, Eric Young interrupted the moment that made things personal, throwing blame at Joe Hendry for TNA's recent problems. Hendry didn't flinch, stepping up to Young and planting the seeds for a possible showdown. But for Callahan, though, it was a send-off years in the making. After battles in WWE, NXT, TNA, and indie promotions around the world, he now turns his focus to promoting Pro Wrestling Revolver, while managing the lingering effects of a body worn down by war. So thank you, Sami Callahan. Thank you so much. If you ever see this, thank you for your contributions in the ring. Thank you for leaving it in the ring. Thank you for, you know, doing what you do and entertaining us, man. We thank you so much, and golfers clap for that, man. Very much so. But that is going to do it for us, man. That's the show. We had a lot to talk about. And I still don't feel like we even scratched the surface of what's going on.
I got another beer. Do we got another 30 minutes?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, we could talk about what we think could go on with the whole Raja Jackson thing again. I mean, do you think his MMA career is done? Do you think that there's going to be any charges pressed against him?
I think if the police watch the video, yeah. I think there's going to be some charges.
Yeah.
I would like to think there would be some charges. You know, we're getting into territory where there's, you know, bigger parties involved. Rampage Jackson still has ties to UFC. They have a lot of money. They could brush a lot of shit under the table. However, I feel like an instance like this, though, is a prime example of why social media is like what it is, right? If I'm not mistaken, this was all streamed on Kick, right?
I believe so, yes.
So that's a streaming platform that is pretty popular, that has zero restrictions on what they show. Okay? Meaning they have zero restrictions on what they show, what the chat types in.
Yeah.
Everything. So people are very reactive on this. So I've read many articles for Kick streamers having harmful shit, whether it's beating people in the street, whether it's attacking older people, like an insane amount. So like this could like really reflect back onto Kick itself, which is a pretty big streaming world. So I'm kind of curious on how they play this out, because it was all live streamed on Kick. And that is the type of shit that needs to not be out there, because you having people that are able to just watch it whenever they want, react to this in real time, and like egg on those type of people. Like I feel like that's what kind of happened here. Yeah, I don't know. It's very dicey.
It's a fucked up situation, man. It really is. And Sean, thank you for reminding us.
Clash in Paris.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do some predictions. Let's do it. And
No. Do not
Why?
do predictions. Because I'm still trying to type it up after I saw his
Got it.
suggestion.
Okay. Well, this is a good time to remind everybody to make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button here on YouTube. Follow us on X at The Ramblers Pod, and find us on twitch.tv too. And we would love to have you follow along. And this is, we have a lot of fun doing this show. So make sure you follow us on social media. We would love to have you along with us for this journey. Follow the ticker or whatever you want to follow. But while Max is.
We say it each and every week, but you guys don't ever follow me on X. Okay, I post at least 2 to 3 times a month. I need some love out here.
He does need some love. Scumbag Jordan with 3 N's. 3 N's. Need to go follow him. All right. Make sure you give him a follow and show him some love. Show him that you love him. Courtney, where you at? I know you love.
Tell me that you love me, baby.
Max, are you ready, sir?
Almost. I'm on the main event. I
Yes.
have one problem. I'm not on the main event because I'm pretty sure the Fatal 4-Way is the main event. I'm on Becky versus Nikki right now. It's the bottom on the Wikipedia. I will send this over in a second. We are for sure missing one match.
Is that?
Stephanie.
Well, that's not
match.
happening at Clash. So.
Oh, I thought he said that they would get the match on the Clash.
No, I think
no.
I thought it was announced that they were not going to wrestle.
He's not going to Paris.
Yeah,
they said. Adam said that she's not going to Paris, but he will make it up to her.
Oh, yeah, something along those lines, but she will not be, which is fucked up, dude. I hate that.
Well, Eric Angel posted that we love you too, Courtney. Eric Angel posted that they had a ready-made championship match for that title. All you had to do was put EO versus Stephanie McCare. Boom, you have your match.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that hard either.
I didn't think it was that hard, but I guess we're not. I guess we're only getting the 5 matches on at Clash in Paris, which is what is this? Is it this Saturday? Yeah, it's this Saturday or Sunday. Sunday, August 31st.
Which
I know
weird.
in Paris, and it's probably going to be what at 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. We haven't had outside of NXT shows, we haven't really had it's noon my time, 1 your time. We haven't had a Sunday PLE outside of the 2-day shows in a while.
And is this the last PLE to air on Peacock? Okay.
I don't think so. So the way I understood this, yes, they're doing the whatever that show is.
September 20th
on ESPN. Yes. I was just going with ESPN. But my understanding was that they're not taking PLEs off of Peacock until early next year because that's when the contract with Peacock runs until.
Good. Okay. Right on. Okay. Well,
so, and whenever you're ready, I am ready.
All right. Let's start with the Baron, and we're going to work from the match down, and we're going to go all the way up to the big one.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a new season. Keep the tallies, Max, going forward until we find a new, pipeline. This is a new season here. So everything's fucking wiped clean, okay?
Everything is wiped clean.
0-0, everyone, across the board.
Okay. Max, do you agree with that? Are we just on a clean slate here?
We can start with a clean slate starting now. Usually I would think we'd start a clean slate after Mania, but since we really just started this, yeah, it's fine. We'll start with a clean slate.
All right, let's start with a clean slate. Baron, we'll begin with you, buddy. We'll go Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Who do you got?
I just feel like not too many titles are going to change this weekend. But I was going to say with the heat that Becky's getting from that promo she cut, they could kind of put her in timeout. But I just don't see Nikki Bella holding that belt. So I'm going to go with Becky here.
And Sean, I really hope that there are more than 5 matches if we're going to be forced to have to pay $30 for ESPN to watch these PLEs.
Well,
I don't mean to interrupt your predictions there, Ben.
Yeah, you do.
I get that. I get that this $30 is a big contentious point, But the $30 doesn't just cover the PLE. The $30 covers all the content that the new ESPN app is going to have. Now, if you're only watching that, if you only have ESPN for the PLE, then yeah, you're really paying $30.
And I
just
think
to watch
that's what
five
I think that's
matches.
what a lot of the frustration is coming out of. You know, it's you know, if I'm a football fan, I'm a baseball fan, I'm also a hockey fan too, so I can justify paying $30 a month to watch ESPN because I might get some entertainment out of it other than the WWE. But for those who are not sports fans and they only watch wrestling, then yeah, $30 is a hefty price. But let's continue on with your predictions, Baron. I'm sorry about that.
No.
Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in a singles match. Who do you got?
I've said this many times on this show. I never vote against or bet against the big dog. Something tells me he's going to lose this match, but I'm going with Roman Reigns here.
Okay.
Won't bet against him.
Sheamus versus Rusev in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook.
Donnybrook match. Oh, my God. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit.
Hey, don't disrespect the banger.
I've seen some bangers from these two guys, and they face off many times. This will be a great match. Sheamus needs to put Rusev over. Let's get some momentum on Rusev because, man, has it been a letdown since he came back.
I absolutely agree. How about the fatal four-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight? Yeah.
Another one you don't bet against, and that's Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I'm going with Seth all day.
Kind of leaning towards that too. And finally, John Cena versus Logan Paul in a singles match. You got the man.
No, Becky Lynch is already in a different match. Not this
You got the
one.
guy.
I don't know. This is a tough one, man. I feel like John Cena is there to put people over before he leaves, and I feel like he's putting Logan Paul over. And fuck, this is a tough one, actually.
You know, it is.
I'm gonna regret this, but I'm going Logan Paul.
Okay.
But always Team John Cena.
Max, it's your go, and we'll start with Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
They really pushed one thing really hard Monday night. That this is one of the only titles Nikki Bella has never held in the WWE. I really feel like Nikki Bella is going to get the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
I'll state my piece during my predictions, but I'm going to agree with you there. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. Max, who you got?
Oh, this was tough. I agree with Baron on that. This is tough. I mean, you really think that the Vision is going to ensure Bronson wins in some way, but how do you go against the OTC, especially when he's taking on the Tribal Thief? I'm going with Roman on this.
Sheamus versus Rusev in the good old-fashioned Donnybrook match.
I was trying to think over what the record is between these two since Rusev came back. I'm pretty sure Sheamus has won most of the matches.
Let's see if we can find it here. Yeah, they're tied 1-1. Yeah,
they've only had two.
So in the ongoing 2025 WWE storyline, Sheamus and Rusev are tied 1-1 in their feud as of late July 2025, with Sheamus winning one match, the other ending with no winner. Their feud will culminate in the Donnybrook match at Clash of Paris.
I'm going to go with Rusev on this.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree. I think they need to push him to the moon. How about the fatal four-way between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight for the World Heavyweight Championship?
I think we all know that I am a Yeet guy, But I think they're actually going to pull the trigger on someone else this time. I think they're going to put the title on
Really?
LA Knight finally.
Why? Why do you say that?
Yeah. They've made him such a big deal in this story with Seth so far that, I mean, Jay was already in the title picture. Punk was already in the title picture. Here comes Knight out of nowhere being a big part in this whole thing. It just, for me, it came out of left field, and I feel like they're finally going to pull the trigger on him for that reason.
I have some other thoughts on that, and we'll get it to when I get to my predictions. How about John Cena and Logan Paul?
You can't see my pick.
All right. For me, Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. You know, you guys have a point. Nikki Bella has never held the Women's Intercontinental Championship, but I'm thinking, is it too early to drop the belt off of Becky? I mean, how long has she had it? You have to think about the longevity of these superstars and how long they've held their belts. Is it time to put the belt on Nikki Bella? But then again, or take the belt off of Becky Lynch and give it to Nikki Bella. But then again, it's like, well, Nikki's going to be riding off into the sunset soon, so why not give her one last shot in the moon? And this, I'm not too invested in this match. I'm going to go with Nikki Bella.
June 7th at Money in the Bank is when Becky
I mean,
won the
she's
belt.
had it for a few months.
Almost 3 months now, yep.
I don't really know if it's time to take the belt off of Becky. Could it be like a punishment for the Aussie thing? You know, if they've really pissed off the Osborne family, they say, Becky, we got to take the belt off of you. We got to put it on Nikki because of the comment that you made. That could happen. I don't know. But either way, I'm going to go with Nikki Bella on it. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. This is, like, you guys are right, man. This is a hard one to predict. I just, with how they're pushing Bronson Reed, I don't see how they wouldn't put him over. Especially have Roman Reigns put him over, since Bronson is such a big part of the story. Yeah, I got to go against the big dog on this one. I'm going to go with Bronson.
Woo! You're going against the big dog?
I'm going with Bronson Reed on this one. And
I know.
I
think he might actually get this right. I feel like I read somewhere Roman's taking some time away, but
he's got a movie. He's going to start filming, I believe.
He just got back from time.
He's going to have more. So, and the good old fashioned Donnybrook match, Sheamus versus Rusev. They really need to push Rusev to the freaking moon. Sheamus does. So I'm going to go with Rusev on this one. Which again, this match, I'm not invested in. The Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Max said LA Knight, and Baron, you said who? Seth. See, and here's the thing, Max. You said that you think they're going to put the belt on LA Knight. You have to remember the heat between LA Knight and CM Punk, especially between CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight on Monday Night Raw that we saw. They do not like each other, and I think somebody's going to fuck somebody else over enough for Seth Rollins to retain that title. And I think Seth Rollins is going to be your winner in that title.
Here's the story. Here's how it plays out, right? Seth and CM Punk have been going at it since CM Punk stepped in, right? So, like, there's no way on earth that anybody's taking that belt off of Seth unless it's CM Punk.
And I think
CM Punk's not winning a belt until he headlines one of the WrestleManias and wins there.
Well, I don't know. Is he going to win at Royal Rumble? Will they put Seth and CM Punk at Royal Rumble, or will they put him at Mania? Do we have to wait that fucking long?
Mania. That is the vision that I see. CM Punk has went over every single effort and almost this close to winning. He doesn't ever have to win that belt, right? But I think to pay back and to highlight him in that fashion, he has to. And there's no one else he's going to win that belt from other than Seth Rollins. and it has to be at Mania. I want to see Seth hold that all the way to Mania, face off to CM Punk, whether CM Punk has to win the Royal Rumble or whatnot. That has to be the story. Man, that would be fucking epic if they play it out that way.
I don't know. I mean, okay, so CM Punk has to wait, but who do you think that Seth would drop the title to? Because he's going to have to drop the title. I mean, Royal Rumble 2026 is in January.
It's a long ways away,
Yeah.
but he has the biggest and best people around him, from Bronson to Braun to Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he never really truly has to, unless somehow the only person that outside of CM Punk I could see him losing that belt to is Braun Breaker. That I see happening, but there would be, I mean, like, this would be one of the top stories in wrestling if CM Punk was ever able to overcome and win a title at Mania. Like, can you imagine? That would be bigger than Daniel Bryan going over in Mania. So, like, I hate to say it, but I want to see Seth hold on to that belt until Mania.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I mean, I just think Seth is going to drop it at some point. He's going to have to, and then it could be against. I mean, even if it's just for a little bit, you know, let's say they drop it to Jey Uso. Let's say Seth drops it to Jey Uso or LA Knight, and they hold it for a little bit, and Seth fights to get it back. Seth wins, even you know, CM Punk comes out and tries to stop it from happening. Seth still wins, and then they get it back for, you know, they take it to Mania that way. You know, anything can happen. Anything can happen. I think that Seth is not going to drop at Clash in Paris, though. I think he's gonna retain that title. As far as John Cena and Logan Paul, this one's hard, man. I just don't know how they could put Logan Paul over John Cena. I just don't know how. This is tough. Fuck it, I'm going with Cena. Going with Cena.
I mean, let's be honest. If Cena loses, we riot.
Especially to Logan Paul. But there you go. We hope you enjoy Clash in Paris on Sunday and the wee afternoon on a Sunday. I hope this is one of the very last overseas shows. I completely missed Raw live because they were live in Birmingham at a different time, so I had to watch it on a replay, which I had to sign up for fucking Netflix, which pissed me off. But it is what it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoy Clash in Paris. We all do. And that is going to do it for the show this evening. It's been fun. We've had a lot to talk about. We talked about a lot. And we will keep our eye on the Raja Jackson situation. We'll keep our eye on the on Syko Stu. If there's any other developments, we'll let you know next Tuesday. Maybe we'll come on here and do a review of Clash in Paris. What do you think, guys? After it's
maybe
okay. We'll let you know if we're going to come on here live and do a review of Clash in Paris. I think we should. I think it'd be fun. It'd definitely be early enough for us to do it. So
it just sucks it's on Sunday.
It does suck it's on a Sunday. Yeah, but I mean, hey, the old pay-per-views are on Sundays too. So
not at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. No.
Dizzy, I got bad news
for
you.
Wade Barrett, what's up?
Monday, Raw will be still in Paris.
I gotta fuck. Okay, fine. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those shows.
Not either, man.
I mean, the audience and the shows are always great, but like the fucking time barrier. Like we were talking about Monday Night Raw, and Disney's like, my fucking cable network doesn't have it. I'm like, bro, it was on at like 2:00. But I thought the same thing.
I forgot that they were in Birmingham.
Yeah, I hate that time barrier with those shows. It's fucking obnoxious.
I do too. Well, that is the show for us this week. Again, we might be back on here and talk about a little Clash in Paris after it's off the air. But Baron, how can they follow you, sir?
You guys know, weekly basis, Scumbag Jordan 3 ends. I'm going to hold you guys to it. If you do not follow me, then you don't follow me, I guess.
There's no threat there. It's just an empty one. Max, how can they follow you, sir?
You can find me at Max Magius. You can find my other podcast at Our Shots Podcast. Listen to it wherever you find podcasts, or go to random-shots.net. And as always, please, 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 for the love of God, this man is bored. He's in my messenger reminding me how bored he is pretty much every day. Please send complaints right here to Deactivated Styles.
Do it. Give him something to do. You can follow the show on X at The Ramblers Pod. Find us on Facebook at Ramblers Unleashed. And follow us on here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell icon. That'll tell you when we're live next. And that tells YouTube that you like what we're doing and suggests our video to more people. And until Clash in Paris, we'll do it all over again. So please enjoy professional wrestling for what it is, no matter what promotion you watch. And until next time, we will talk. See ya. Bye. Enjoy Clash in Paris.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.
Can I go to bed now?
Fuck no.